Hello everyone, this is Knickknack118, back with another dates review. And we're going to be reviewing Dole Rays. Wait. No. We're back with a Hero Factory review. And we're going to be reviewing Rocka today. And as you can see, the first thing that we'll see about the packaging is that it's totally different. And it looks like a Dole Raisins or Dates package. Now that's really shameful. So shameful, in fact, that Toys R Us has decided to show just the figure because they're ashamed about the packaging. And let's just take a look at the packaging and try to overlook the terrible, Dole Raisins look. So we have Lego Hero Factory at the top with this Hero Factory zipper, it seems like. And then we have Rocka firing his Zammersphere, some other launcher that isn't a Zammersphere launcher. And he's firing it off into the distance with an enemy, as you can see. Zoom in, cameraman, on that enemy in the background. And he's holding a pair of handcuffs because this is the Breakout series, and it seems like Rocka XL got changed a little bit so he could fight the Breaking Out villains. And there's also, you can earn 300 plus points on the game on herofactory.lego.com. And the other stuff we don't care about, the age range and the piece count and other such things. And the choking hazard, which is at the bottom, gladly in the fold of the full packaging. We'll flip that over here. And we have Rocka. It shows that you can shoot the reused pieces. And it shows quite a few of his new pieces and quite a bit of his new equipment and his handcuffs and how you can handcuff villains with it. And that there's a code on the inside of the Hero Core, and you can use it on a game online. And then there's the other stuff about 3-year-olds choking that we don't really care about. Here's the problem. It's still recyclable, but it's a Craisins package, which is just ridiculous. So, and I think the heads are about the same. I don't know if they're returning the heads, but we'll see when we look inside. That's about it. So let's go inside. We'll use the handy-dandy scissors. But instead of breaking them, I'm going to have to actually use the scissors. So let's just scissor this up here. Cut along the dotted line. Very depressing. This is just depressing. I'm ripping apart a container, and then it's like a Ziploc bag. Ziploc bags like these, if you ever open Dole Raisins, they're always troublesome like this. There we go. I'll dump out little bags inside and the instruction manual, which doesn't exist. So let's take a look. You see these bags, we have looks like maybe a track for bullets or something, or some sort of chain, I'm not sure, but this is a cool, interesting new piece. Mockers will really like this because they can make interesting new weapons. Here are the little pieces. In here we have those Lego spears that you see sometimes in castle sets, and some chain pieces, and a new hero core. They changed the hero cores again. Why can't they just standardize the hero cores like they standardized the masks in Bionicle? It just shows you how inferior Hero Factory is. I mean, nothing. Alright, and in here we have quite a few new pieces. We have these green hexagonal pieces, and it appears that they attach using the axle rods to the Rocka's chest. And we have, look like, some new weapons over here, and some of the standard build Hero Factory sets that you see were introduced in 2.0. And some new armor. Here's a cool armor piece. And we have some returning armor that's been recolored. That looks to be about it for the pieces. So, yes, here we go. And here's another new armor piece. It attaches by using the new system pegs. And that is, oh yes, and one of those Zammerspheres. And using the reusable Thornax pieces. And we have the return of the Iron Man head, which I'm sure quite a few of you will be happy about. There we go. Zoom in, camera. All right, that's good. And I think I've done it for the pieces. There are quite a bit of pieces in here that everyone's going to love. So I think I'm going to get ready to build this thing. Hold on, let me just show you all the pieces out of this box. I'm going to get ready to build in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. done building Rocka, let's talk about how the build was. Well, the build was actually more complicated than usual. As you can see, they used some classic pieces like these bendable pieces from other LEGO series that they hadn't used before. And the build was slightly more enjoyable. However, it was still just really simple, and it didn't take very long. However, I think let's move on to playing experience though. Overall, Rocka seems pretty good. I mean, he has a nice, good gold color scheme, except for these green pieces, which really inhibit his color scheme. He's got 13 points of articulation, as usual, and his build is really creative. As you can see on the back, there's actually armor in the back this time. See, there's this armored foot over here that's chrome colored, and these things are multiplying all over the place. There are these gold colored armor that they've put on the sides to armor in the back. They didn't really put any armor down here, but at least they tried. And the gold really works very nicely with this build. I rather like it in the chrome pieces. And the longer limbs, if you didn't notice, they've put longer limbs into this new 2.0 build that are actually quite a bit longer than the original 2.0 heroes than they were. And the return of the Iron Man head I also like. It's really great to see that head return because I thought the new 2.0 heads were rather flimsy. If you look, you can see the Iron Man head returning here. His helmet looks rather nice. It's not really too ugly. And he has larger greaves on his shoulders and his legs. If you look, these greaves are quite a bit larger than the large ones from the previous years. So he doesn't have as many chinks in his armor. And I think they've perfected this build very well. And they've justified why they have these two little nubs on their on the greaves, other than decorative reasons, is you can make more fancy armor out of them, as with this semicircular shoulder armor. But the cons, right, for me at least, the green really doesn't work with the gold. I mean, if you green and gold, that really doesn't go together, especially the Alien series looking green. He does have a Thornax launcher type thing, but it has a Zammer sphere in it, which it shoots pretty far. You didn't see where it went, but it did shoot really far wherever it went. And one problem I have with him, though, is it kind of looks awkward with this thank you thing. It really looks awkward with the spears on his shoulder. I don't really get the spears, why they put them there. Also, the cuffs really work well. I like the cuffs, and we'll try to cuff necks later so we can see if they actually fit onto heroes or villains. We have more creative use of pieces this year. I really love how they used the new 2.0 build to make a lot of different pieces work in a lot of different ways. So let's go to comparison. Here we have 1.0 hero and a 2.0 hero. We have necks in here. Now, if you can see, Rocka's a little bit taller than his 2.0 counterpart, and definitely the 1.0 counterpart. These two both have the Iron Man head, but the tools are a little bit more complicated as in the 2.0. However, the build, as you can see, is a bit it's a bit more complex in this than in Nex 2.0. If you look, remember Nex had no armor in the back. You can see that Rocka has quite a bit of armor in the back. And the tool that Nex had was rather mediocre. It was just this orange claw thing. This is a little bit better of a tool and has a launcher and this green thing on the shoulder. If it were a different color, that would have made this much better. If you notice, you can see the limb difference in the lower legs. Zoom in, cameraman. You can see how the lower legs of Rocka are a bit longer than Nex's, and which makes him quite a bit taller. You can see that there isn't a secondary armor piece. It's just just the slim armor piece that Nex has, but there's no larger piece over top of it. The hero core. Let's take a look at the hero cores because they're quite a bit different. They changed them again. I'm not sure if I like this, but they secured it with two nubs instead of one. Cameraman, zoom in on this. You see they carry it secure with 2 numbers instead of 1, and there's a code in it that you can use on the internet. And I don't like the fact they keep changing the hero cores, because by doing that, they really make them inconsistent, so you can't switch hero cores from one generation to the next. As you can see, this is the 1.0 hero cores, as opposed to the, they've been getting smaller and smaller. These are the smallest hero cores to date. If you look at the heights, once again, this is, Rocka's a $15 set, whereas I believe Next was a bit cheaper. And they're not really, there isn't really much difference in height, and really difference in pieces. And, you know, the thing is, injection molds cost a lot of money, and that's their, and for LEGO to make different pieces, to make much taller figures is quite a cost. So that's why the figures look really similar. They look really similar. And I think that when you look at it overall, maybe it's a little bit better than the 2.0 sets, but I think this build that we have here should be different if you're going to have a much larger set. We'll compare with Brutaka. Brutaka was $20 when he came out, as opposed to Rocka, who was $15. Now, I think Rocka should be a bit taller, and if you look at the build of Brutaka, Brutaka was pretty complicated. He had a complicated, relatively, structure in his torso, and quite interesting legs, and I really liked that complicated build, and it's kind of sad that they're shying away from that to a more simple build. But as LEGO has found out that boys like instant gratification when they build, as you can see, so they want to play with the figure as soon as possible, so they found that this was the best solution. And overall, though, I think Rocka is a good set, but overpriced. He was $15. There's this buy one, get one half price at Toys R Us, but overall, he's still overpriced for $15. You're better off getting a figure that's a little bit shorter, and it's $10. So, overall, I'd recommend a figure like Rocka, but not Rocka himself. We're going to be reviewing another one of these sets, this time the Heroes, and you'll see how Rocka measures up to this hero. We're going to be reviewing Evo. So this has been another Hero Factory review of Knick-Knack 118. This is Knick-Knack 118, signing off.